Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about whether or not New York is doing it wrong when it comes to former President Trump. There have been a number of people who have suggested that New York should have waited. They should have gone last because, relatively speaking, what New York is looking at Trump for, well, it's kind of minor in comparison to the other jurisdictions. So there are those who suggest that they should have waited. Should have started off with, a big case and then dealt with the little stuff. I disagree, actually. I disagree. First thing I want to say is I don't think there's that level of coordination. I don't think that the prosecutors are coordinating their events with each other. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that they talk to each other, but these are different jurisdictions with different political and legal realities. I don't think they're coordinating like that. But if I could pick, like if somebody said, hey, you determine the order in which they go, I would have started with New York. I would have started with New York because it's relatively minor in comparison. You look at Trump's calls for people to get out there and support him and say his name and all that stuff. Those calls, there aren't a lot of people picking up the phone right now. And I think it's because it is relatively minor. I think it's because people are looking at it and being like, well, this isn't a big deal. And this is that little thing, it doesn't matter. So people aren't getting as energized over it. At least not yet. And I think a slow kind of descent into reality is probably a good thing. It gives people time to get acclimated to it. If it was me, it would be New York, then Georgia, then any federal cases. But that's simply to assist his supporters, really. Those people who might be very angry, those people who may not have come to terms with how they might have been misled. If it moves from a smaller thing to a larger thing, it gives them time to adjust and hopefully might stop them from doing something they'd regret. But again, I really don't think there's that level of coordination. I don't think it's happening like that. I don't think that the prosecutors are talking to each other and trying to decide who goes first or anything like that. I don't think that's happening at all. They may be keeping each other up to date in the sense of this is what we're doing right now, this is what we're doing. But I don't even know that that's happening. I would remind everybody that there are a lot of steps in the legal system. And how long each step takes, that's up to how many motions get filed, what judges say. It's really hard to kind of coordinate like that. Even if the prosecutors wanted to, the legal systems in the various jurisdictions really wouldn't let them. I think they're all moving as fast as their jurisdiction allows. And the evidence and following where the evidence leads them. And in some cases, it may take them down a side path. But I think that starting with the relatively minor stuff in New York is probably a really good thing for his supporters. I think they're less likely to be energized to the point where they make a mistake and do something that they'll regret. And that's good for everybody. That's good for them. It's good for the people that might be in the area where they get out of hand. It seems like that's the best route. So I don't think New York is doing it wrong. I don't think they should have waited. If they have the evidence, they pursue it. And we're going to have to wait and see on all of this, because there are, in New York, Trump probably stands a pretty good chance of mounting a decent defense. I've made my opinion clear on some of the other cases, but in New York, I do think that there's enough room for him to present a defense that might actually be effective. And it's something we're just going to have to wait and see, and we're going to have to wait and see how people react to it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.